Hello, podcast listeners. We know podcasts are a great way to catch up on a program that you may have missed on KSJE, and it's provided as a free service of this radio station. But you know, KSJE is now listener-supported, and so while you enjoy this podcast, we hope that you'll also take some time to join KSJE. Become a member today. It's quite easy to do. Just go to our website at ksje.com/support and pick the level of support that best matches your budget. Thanks again for listening. Here's your podcast. 10 minutes past 8 o'clock. It is Tuesday morning, the 15th day of April 2025. Good morning, everybody. I'm Scott Micklin. Thanks for tuning in to KSJE 90.9 FM over the airwaves here in San Juan County, New Mexico. In Durango, Colorado, we broadcast at 103.3 FM. And if you're listening to us anywhere else on the planet, go to our website to do that, ksje.com. I also want to welcome our viewers this morning who are joining us. The video of this program is streaming out live to the KSJE Facebook page and also to our YouTube channel. So welcome aboard, everyone. So glad that you are with me, because coming up in the next few moments, my guest from the Aztec School District will be joining us for an April update. Stay tuned for that coming up in the next few moments right here on KSJE. Then, of course, later on this hour, I'll be checking in with Amber Francisco from the Farmington Regional Animal Shelter. That's what we do on Tuesdays, our Adopt a Pet Tuesday segment, and she'll be telling us about some of the great animals available for adoption this week from the shelter. Don't forget, after that, Mick Hess takes us roving with the arts, our weekday classical music program, so stay tuned for that. If you're a podcast person, we remind you that you can connect with KSJE and subscribe to our podcast. They're available probably at places where you're already listening to podcasts. So check it out and discover a new local program that you may have missed recently. Outside our studios here at San Juan College, it is a cloudy Tuesday morning, 52 degrees at the moment, and there are some scattered showers in the area. I drove under a little cloud that spat out about 6 raindrops this morning on my way into the studio, but we may see some scattered showers, some light showers today as well, with a high today reaching about 68 degrees. More sunshine, though, and warmer temperatures tomorrow with a high of 73 on Wednesday. I'll be back with my guests from Aztec Schools right after this on KSJE. KSJE is supported by San Juan Regional Medical Center. The most important ingredients to sustaining health and wellness are the resources and tools that help you live a vibrant and healthy life. At San Juan Regional Medical Center, the goal is to promote health by making sure those resources are available. Find the path to the best life at lifebetterhere.com. San Juan Regional Medical Center. Better is our mission, improving lives through personalized health and care.
Ahead, turn right.
Isn't it nice to have a little help getting where you're going?
Your destination is ahead and 300 feet.
When navigating life's challenges, the San Juan County Navigation Center can help you with navigating housing, navigating transportation, navigating medical providers, and more. Learn more online at sjcnavigate.net or call 505-636-7110. The Navigation Center, connecting to resources, empowering lives.
You have arrived at your destination.
Back at Studio A with my guest this morning, as I mentioned, from Aztec Schools. Joining me here in Studio A is Lauren Laws, the superintendent of Aztec Schools. Welcome back. Nice to have you back with us here on KSJE. Good morning.
Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. Also joining us here in the studio from the Aztec School District, the associate superintendent of HR, Jonathan Acree is here. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
You bet. Good to have both of you here this morning to give us a little bit of an update. Superintendent Laws, we didn't visit last month because it was spring break when you were scheduled to be here, and both of us are off enjoying spring break activities, but things are going well. Students and staff probably counting down to the end of school.
There's a little bit of counting down, yes.
A little bit of that, maybe? Okay, very good. But give us an update on some of the things that are going on. One of the things I know is the initiative you've been talking about with me since you became superintendent, and that is your Capturing Kids' Hearts program.
Yes. So things are going really well with it. We're at a point where we're starting to look at end-of-year surveys for staff to complete that. So we will get those completed and then dive into that data in May and really create a plan for next year. So look at what we did really well, where we can improve, and then
Good.
look into what that might look like for next year.
And for folks who are maybe just joining us or not remembering what this program strives to do with, for, and about kids and staff at Aztec schools, just remind us a bit about the program.
Yeah, it's truly just helping us build our foundation or our culture within our buildings. So we really wanted it K-12 so that our students and our staff would use a common language. So just a way to, greet students at the door and engage with them, ask them how they're doing, kind of get to know them as a human before you push the academics. So
right.
That's really been a big focus. They start every class with good things and, takes 2 minutes, tell us something good, those types of things, and then ending them with a launch or some kind of positive way to leave the classroom. So just really focusing on the positivity.
Gotcha.
In the classroom.
So a whole campaign, I guess, an all-encompassing campaign, if you will, is what it sounds to me. And this includes all of your faculty and staff, too, at your schools?
Yes, it sure does. And then next year we'll look at, they actually have a training that they do with the board and myself. So we'll look at rolling that in. And we'll kick off our year with some Capturing Kids' Hearts as we bring staff back in. So.
Got you. And so you mentioned that you're doing some end-of-year kind of surveys now. And so what types of data are you asking about? This is going out to your students and staff?
Yes, it goes out to both, and it really asks staff about implementation. So, it's pretty simple. Like, did you do good things every day? Did you do a launch? Those types of things. And then for students, it's, is your teacher greeting you at the door? Or is your teacher doing good things? With the student section, and actually with staff as well, it really talks about empowering. And there's one at the district level as well of, is your teacher empowering you to lead good things or lead, different portions of the lessons? So I think that was our big focus this second semester, was how we're empowering our students to kind of take ownership of all the great things happening.
All the good things, right?
Yeah,
and the
all
positive
good
things,
yes.
and reminding them of that, too,
Yes.
I guess, right, as well. Mr. Aker, I want to turn to you from the HR perspective, right, and for your staff and your faculty, your teachers and staff to be able to have this program and this kind of, I guess, reminder of positivity and the culture at Aztec schools. Is that kind of taking hold a little bit? It's only been going for less than a school year, right? So
yeah, absolutely.
What do you see?
I have been really, really impressed as we've had staff and students really take this on, and the positivity. I mean, as you walk across campuses, you can feel a palpable difference, and it's really encouraging. It's enjoyable, and recently we've been doing some work around things like strategic planning and what have you, and it was really heartening because as we were working through that process, one of the things that really made our lives, our hearts happy, was that one of the concerns that was not highlighted by staff or the community at all was any kind of concerns about culture. And it was far more focused on, more tangible things that we can actually get our hands wrapped around. And a lot of times when you're thinking about an organization, culture is a big concern. And so it was really heartening to know that this is making a positive difference.
So it definitely has struck a nerve, I guess, and your faculty, your staff is working at it and doing the things that you're asking them to do. They don't see it as just another thing that they have to do. They are more invested in maybe adopting this feeling and culture at the school district?
Yeah, definitely what my perception is. And it's been nice because I've even heard other staff members, as they've talked with kiddos, who they may not even necessarily know that student because the student's not in their class, or they maybe are familiar with them on campus, but them saying things like, guys, come on, that's not how we do this. And then using those principles from Capturing Kids' Hearts to help gently get them back on the right path, and then encourage them and get them back off onto their day again. And it's been very positive all the way around.
Very good. Great. Excellent. And so as you get this data in, Superintendent Laws, and then study it, I guess the next steps, as you mentioned, will be to keep pushing it out to your students. And then also there's a area for the administration and the board in Aztec?
Yes, so we'll use the survey results, we'll fold it into sites' 90-day plans, so they'll have a goal surrounding culture. And then the board, Capturing Kids' Hearts will come and do its own training with the board and myself, and so I'm really looking forward to that. They do like a leadership profile, so you learn a lot about each member of the board and kind of their style of leadership. So it should be interesting as we continue the path forward.
Right.
So, and help them understand. You know, they're great about visiting sites and getting out there and seeing the things in action. So it'll just provide another layer of understanding for them.
Right. Very good. Excellent. Well, thank you for the update, and continue the good work at Aztec Schools, and exciting to see some of the results of this program at all levels. It sounds like, so that's great.
Yeah.
Mr. Akery mentioned strategic planning, and that's another thing we wanted to talk about this morning is the district's efforts with strategic planning. You've had some meetings and some community meetings, I think, with stakeholders and things like that.
Yes.
Give us an update on that process.
So this has been on Mr. Akery and I's list for years. Years,
Okay.
right, to have a strategic plan in the district. And so we had conversations at the beginning of the year of which route to go, or even when I was interim, of focusing on culture, focusing on strategic plan. We knew we wanted to do both. So when we got to a point where it was like, okay, let's work with, we worked with CES to help with our strategic plan. So Dr. Kurt Steinhaus came in and did a community event, and it was fantastic. I think we had almost 80 people, community members, teachers, parents, students, administrators, business owners, you know,
sure.
those types of things. So
It was open to anyone, really, right?
it
Is that
was,
the idea?
yeah. We sent formal invitations.
Okay.
So, but we definitely would not have turned anyone away.
Got it.
So, and just the way the night was structured was it started with, we had people sitting at tables with common groups. So our business owners were together, our teachers were together, etc.
Mm-hmm.
We had an administrator at each table, and we spent, I think, an hour just talking about people just kind of popcorn, stand up and tell us what you think a need is for the district. And I think it was fascinating. Just, you know, number one, I think people felt comfortable to stand up and express their thoughts, which was fantastic to see, because we can't get better if we don't know.
Right.
So I think we all appreciated that. And then Dr. Steinhaus really did a good job of facilitating it and walking people through, you know, tell me more about that, or is this what you mean, those types of things.
Sure.
So ultimately we had a list of, I don't know, 80-ish issues or needs.
Okay.
And then round two, we mixed people up. So they were at a table of just a mixed group
Random
of
groups,
people.
right?
Yep.
I see.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And then started to narrow down what are the priorities among this list. And then the list got narrowed to 11 things. And then those 11 were then once again kind of ranked into
Right.
priorities. And those will go to the board. So the board will select, I think we ended up coming up with like top 5 based on how they were ranked. But the board will set a goal for us, and then we'll bring it back to the team. And the team will then dive into, here's the goal. Now let's
How do you get there?
make it actionable. Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes. So I think overall the process was really, really great. We felt blessed. We had a great turnout, great feedback.
Mm-hmm.
So overall, yeah, it was the direction we've been wanting to go for sure.
Very good. And again, I guess to be clear, though, it's not that the district didn't have any strategic plans prior to your arrival, but maybe they hadn't been updated in a while or hadn't been talked about in a while. Is that kind of what got your
yes.
wanting to kind of push for this?
Yeah, I think the last
year?
time we had a strategic plan in place was during COVID.
Yeah,
Maybe.
was that
Okay.
1920 year?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it had been, long overdue.
About 5 years. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Very good. And Mr. Akery, from that process, I mean, how are you feeling about moving forward with some of these ideas that came out of this? I mean, and getting to the board and getting some board feedback, I guess, right, on where they want the district to go.
Yeah, I'm incredibly excited about this because I think that what it does is helps us all be unified, whether it's the board, whether it's staff within the district, students, community. We all know what the goal is, and we all know what we're working towards together, and we all have a sense of, all right, are we on pace to be reaching those goals? And I think that those are really powerful things that can help build confidence, and honestly, we owe it to our kiddos and our community. And so I'm really excited about the project. It's been a very positive thing.
Very good. And I know, of course, it'll be up to the board to determine kind of what things are in that final report, but can you give us some ideas of what types of things are going to the board? Is it staffing? Is it facilities? Is it, I don't know.
You've nailed it.
Okay. Two at least, maybe, but yeah.
Facilities was like one of the tops that kept kind of reoccurring, was updating our facilities. Everything from, I don't know, people talked about doorknobs to just buildings, right, that are old. So,
but some are more realistic than others, I suppose, too, and more achievable, I guess, right?
Right. But looking at, the budgeting for those types of things, and because facilities is huge, and planning it out. Staffing did come up, but it was more directed at hiring coaches, highly qualified coaches that are also highly qualified teachers, to be within our rooms or classrooms, and then looking at raises potentially for coaches. They talked about vertical alignment. So again, we used to do, I think, a pretty good job of vertically aligning, third grade to fourth grade, or grade level to grade level, so teachers would meet and be able to have conversations of, here's the standards we taught, and here's the needs, and that type of thing. So bringing some vertical alignment back across grade levels. And then another was just, overall student achievement, just looking at student achievement as a whole. And so I think those are things that we can definitely, obviously we're focused on student achievement, but looking at how we're doing it strategically, and then how we're informing the community of what we're doing is vital.
Right, and the results of that, I guess, too, right? And those types of things. And so, and again, when you have a plan like that, and the board has approved it, adopted it, stamped their approval on it, things like that, I guess that gives you, then it becomes a guiding document for some of the decisions you may want to make, or ask them to make, as the district moves forward, to be able to pull that back and say, well, we're asking for this line item because it's part of our strategic plan that you approved of in 2025, or something to that effect, right?
Very much so. I think this is, we'll utilize our PIO to stay in communication with the people that were not only a part of this event, but within the community, so they understand we're not just doing this to do this. It's a part of the plan, and they had a big say of that. So
right. Very good. And Mr. Acree, again, I'll come back to you for the HR perspective, if you don't mind, for your staff and faculty, having some of these things in writing that the teachers can look at and know maybe what's expected of them, or where the district wants to head according to this plan. Is that helpful for your staff?
I think it very much is, especially if we're telegraphing for them through that, like, hey, this is a major priority for us, or this is why we're putting initiatives into place. I think it helps our staff have confidence and understanding about why it is that we're making some of the decisions that we do, or why it is that money is moving the way that it is. And it also ends up being all based off of their input as well. And so they have stakes in that claim as well. And
right.
I think it's good.
There you go. And again, you bring up money, and that gets us to our next topic that we want to talk about, which is budget and money and things like that. A lot of these things are certainly kind of trickle down from the state and the state's budget, and so then it's up to the districts to figure out, I guess, how to make it work, right, within the confines of Aztec schools or any other district in New Mexico. And so how's the budget looking this year? I know you're going to be handing out raises to your staff, well-deserved raises to your staff, but paying for that is the other side of that coin.
Yes. So we just attended the budget conference last week and found out that, well, we knew, right, teachers are getting or staff getting a 4% raise, and the state ended up funding the SEG will be 3.7%, so it's not fully funded, and so that just leaves us in a place where we really are going to have to be tight and strategic in regards to what we're doing with our funds, and ultimately we'll figure it out, right? Because that's all we can do.
Right.
Our kids will show up regardless. So, we're working with Ms. Garcia, our finance director, to dive into the budget more.
Gotcha.
Actually, tomorrow, and just kind of figure out our plan going forward.
Right. And so for folks listening, they may be thinking, well, gee, that's only 0.3% off. How much could that possibly be? But salaries and benefits are the biggest, I think, chunk of any school district's budget or a lot of entities' budgets, and so it does add up. And I don't know if you know off the top of your head how much money we're talking about, but I'm sure it's probably a few $100,000. I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe something like that, Mr. Acree.
Yeah, if you don't mind me jumping in.
Not at all. I don't know.
If I remember correctly, we're pushing about $1 million that is going to really challenge us, which I mean sounds like a really shocking number. But you know what? Like you said earlier, it's well-deserved raises. We want to make sure our folks are taken care of, and I mean, things are expensive, and so we want to make sure that our folks are able to live, and so we'll figure it out. And that it gives us a real opportunity too to look at how things are working within the organization and try to go, all right, is there a smarter or a better way? You know, I think it's the old quote, necessity is the mother of invention. You know, a challenge like this can help us find really creative and good solutions.
Sure, understandable. And so, and again, that tells you where my mind was. I was thinking it's only 100,000, and it's more maybe like another digit, like in a million or so. Yeah. So that's it. But when you talk about those things, and I guess you're looking forward, does that mean that maybe if someone is retiring from the district, maybe that position may not be filled for the fall, or things like that, or that some ways that you can maybe look at some savings or things along that line, and not certainly getting rid of anyone that's currently working at the district and planning to come back in the fall?
Certainly, right. And so the goal, of course, is always to make sure that we're taking care of people. We have people who have, a lot of times, we're very blessed in Aztec. We have people who have a lot of times started their careers and are ending their careers with us. And so because of that, it's really important to us to make sure that we're being mindful and making sure that we're taking care of folks and being intentional as we're doing things. And so we're not looking at any, like, you know, pink slipping folks or big reductions in force at this point. We are really just focused on, all right, is there an opportunity as we have somebody retire to analyze that position and see, all right, can we do something creative with it or different with it, where we're getting the same outcomes but maybe saving a little bit of money so that we can put that towards our staff, our raises, our classrooms, and those places where, you know, it really gets back to the heart of what we do every day, which is educating kiddos.
Sure. Very good. And so that's something that you're looking at as things become clearer. I guess you've got the state numbers, but there's other things that fall into your budget. We were talking a little bit before we came on the air this morning about federal funding, and that's a big, I think, question mark for a lot of folks because of the conversations going on in Washington, D.C. And so how does that fill out a budget document? Is there a big question mark on your spreadsheet?
Yeah, we just watch it, and, you know, we want to make sure that we are following what we need to. So regardless of what comes down, we just address it as needed. So just keeping an eye on it and then being able to shift.
Right.
So
certainly federal programs are integral in your district and all the others too, though. And so obviously any change in that is going to be something that all districts would have to deal with, not just Aztec.
Right. I know Dr. Hall's done a great job of watching his applications and those types of things and trying to keep us updated on what he knows as well. So, yeah, we're just keeping a watchful eye.
Got you. Very good. And I guess the other question would be class sizes and things like that. Is that something that you're trying to keep where they are moving forward?
I think the goal is always, yes, to keep them low as possible. And so we have to be strategic. Like Mr. Acree said, if we have a retirement or those types of things, we definitely look at class numbers before looking at not rehiring that position, or whether, you know, just to determine our next steps, because we don't want to overload teachers in any way, shape, or form.
Right.
So
gotcha.
We take it into consideration for sure.
Okay. All those things are being looked at.
And it can be a tricky balance for sure, because you know, at the end of the day, if we have higher class sizes, we might be able to adjust staffing or what have you. But I mean, there's years and years of research that shows very, very clearly for us, and we lean on that research quite a bit, that shows that especially kinder through third grade, having those smaller class sizes makes a big difference for our students and helps set them up for long-term and better success. And so because of that, anytime we're looking at those things, it weighs really heavy again, because at the end of the day, the whole reason that we're here is to make sure our kiddos are getting good education, and staffing ends up being a pretty integral part of that as we make those considerations. So
Sure.
we try to be pretty mindful and make sure that we're not overloading folks, and that we're using, I like to say we're using reality to guide what we're doing, because somebody spent millions of dollars to research it, and they already know what the answer is. So let's read that and then use it to inform our decisions.
Right. That makes sense. Well, good luck with the budget conversations that I know you're having in Aztec and every other school district is having as they put those spending plans together, which I know there's probably a state mandated deadline of when you have to turn those in, right, and get those approved before the new funding year starts July 1.
Yes.
So
Yes.
TikTok, it's coming, right?
It is.
It's every
It
year.
is.
That kind
May
of thing.
21st.
Very true. There you go. And the other thing I want to ask you about is the calendar, the school calendar. That's something that you're working on too, which I know can be a little bit complicated because you make a change over here and it messes up something over on the other side of the month, or who knows, right?
Yes, so we're trying to be creative with our calendar this year. One of the things staff asked for, because we got rid of our early release day, was more PD time, or more time with their
Professional
teams.
development.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So what we're looking at next year is having a professional development day after each quarter, so that teachers are, provided time to work on grades and do all the things that they need to do. And then we're actually going to send a survey out to staff to see if we can work in some other PD days as well. So those, we have a little bit more flexibility on when they can be, so we're going to have staff vote on it. So hopefully we'll be sending that out today or tomorrow to get their feedback and then get our calendar to the board for approval. So the PD days are definitely going to be new. I think right now we have like our beginning of the year days, and then we have one in January, and that's about it. So
Gotcha.
it's
This would be
not a
spread
lot
out
of time.
throughout the year is what I'm
Yes,
hearing.
yes.
Is the idea. And so that would be just a day off for students, and then teachers would come in and get their professional development
Yes.
down 4 times a year, roughly. So,
We're hoping for 6.
okay.
So we're playing with the numbers to make sure that
But you
it
can't
adds
fool me.
up.
A quarter is 4, so you can't fool me.
Right.
Even though it's early,
Yes.
but you can still do 6. But I'm just
Yes.
saying. Gotcha.
4 are definitely there,
I
and then
understand.
staff will figure out the others.
Right, I understand. Very good. And I know sometimes there's some coordination with the other districts in the county. Is there any of that going on? I think you all try to get together on spring break dates and winter break dates and things like that. Is that still something
Yes.
that happens?
We actually pulled, we met with Dr. Pendergrass, looked at your spring break because you guys had your calendar set and ready, so we all stuck with that.
Gotcha.
And then worked with Mr. Deal and Mr. Olivas as well. So we were in our calendar meetings. I was texting them to see what they were doing to make sure that we all stay aligned. So we've all shared our calendars, and everyone is pretty similar in regards to what we're looking at.
Right.
So,
And of course, the state keeps kind of tweaking a little bit on some of those calendar things too. So
yes,
You're
yes.
watching that.
They no longer require days, it's minutes. So
Right.
It helps to give us wiggle room in regards to professional development days, which is nice.
Right, very good. And again, for your teachers and I think, again, studies and research shows that professional development, I think teachers appreciate that. At least I think that they do. And, a chance to talk to their peers and maybe get some new training or skills on things, or at least some, refreshing on things that the district is looking at. Is that kind of how you see it too?
That's exactly it. And then in addition, I think that one of the things that's really powerful about having these PD days come back in is it gives our teachers time to, especially right after a quarter, look back at that performance for kiddos and be really reflective and intentional around, hey, what was working and what's not. And they have a moment, almost like a doctor, right? After they've had an opportunity to review x-rays or something, to then come up with a plan before they go in and start working with their patient to figure out what they're going to do. And it's the same kind of concept with our teachers. We want to make sure that we're giving them that time so that then as our kiddos come back and they start the next quarter, they're ready to rock and roll and they have everything they need.
Gotcha. Very good. And so for parents, guardians watching, listening to us this morning, or trying to plan maybe their winter break next year, stay tuned, or what days their kids may be home for these professional development days for your teachers. That will be coming out sooner than later, I would think.
Yes, we will take it to the board in May, and then we'll posted
It'll
as
get
soon
out
as
there.
they approve it. Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Very good. Wonderful. Well, I think we're just about out of time this morning, everybody, but is there anything else that we wanted to share about what's coming up? Just the last few weeks of the school year, it seems to me.
Yeah. No, it's going by quickly. We're excited. I have one big announcement, if I can.
Oh, there is breaking news. I
Yes.
almost forgot about the
Yes.
breaking news you were going to share on this program. How could I forget? Pardon me.
So we have a retirement that's happening in our district. So Mr. Flores is retiring. He's currently our deputy superintendent. So we're appointing Mr. Akery as our deputy superintendent as of June 1st. So
Very good.
Extremely excited. Mr. Akery and I have worked together a long time. He's amazing. So I'm extremely blessed.
Very good. Well, congratulations to you, Mr. Akery. Congratulations to Mr. Flores.
I'm excited for him.
I'm old enough to remember when he was roaming the halls here at San Juan College
Yes.
in other professional capacities. So it's great to see all of his success as well, and we wish him best on his retirement. But Mr. Akery, good luck to you,
Well, thank you.
with your new duties as well. So
Yeah, I'm excited, and I feel like it's going to be a positive thing all the way around. So
very good. Well, we're always fun to share breaking news on the program. So
Yes,
thank you for
thank you.
bringing that, and
Yes.
and good luck with everything. So
Thank you.
next time we talk, it'll be in May. So a little bit closer to the end of the school year,
Yes,
probably. So
yes.
I'll look forward to that.
That sounds good. Thank you for having us today.
You're very welcome. We'll see you then.
Okay.
My guest from the Aztec School District with me right here on KSJE. KSJE and the San Juan College Native American Center present the Student Study Tip of the Week.
Hello and good day. This is Demetrius coming to you with the study tip of the week. One of the study tips for college that can make a massive difference in how you approach new information is knowing the difference between memorizing the material and understanding it. Memorizing information isn't actually learning the information. It's just helping you learn how to repeat it during a finite time. For example, if you're studying for a Spanish exam and you're memorizing a conjugated verb chart, remembering what the verb looks like in a written form will help you remember the information for that exam. However, you might forget the meanings of the verbs and how to use them in a sentence afterward, since it's a very specific way of studying. This may catch up with you when you take the next level up of Spanish.
The Student Study Tip of the Week is presented by the San Juan College Native American Center and KSJE. Did you enjoy that podcast? We hope that you did. And if you did, share it with your friends. And if you really want to keep podcasts like this coming, please support KSJE. You can do it easily online at ksje.com.